my happy readers. It's Shed Time Stories with Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen one from the book series Sticky the Kitty, and it's all about friendship and sharing. The title is Sadie Comes to Town. If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The author, the person who has written this story, is Chuck Hawley. And the illustrator, the person who has drawn all the pictures, is Max Marcel. Now, Sticky the Kitty is the kitty who has been given a new forever home. But now Sadie the dog needs a new home. I wonder if they will get along. Shall we read and find out? Sadie comes to town. It was a rough start, but I was getting settled into my new home. JoJo and Stewie helped me learn the rules, and we all got along just fine. I liked to cuddle with JoJo. He was big and furry and very comfy. Even though he pretended he didn't always like to cuddle with me, he always let me. I liked to sit in Stewie's spot. Even though he pretended he didn't like me to, he always let me. One day, I wanted to play with Stewie's toys. Stewie got mad and barked, "No, that's mine!" Mom told him he needed to be patient with me. I had been through a lot, so even though he pretended he didn't want me to, he let me play with his toy. Everything was great. We were all very happy. And then Sadie showed up. Sadie needed a place to live, so Mom and Dad said she could live with us. But Sadie didn't know the rules. When I would go to sit in Stewie's spot, Sadie was there. I tried to tell her, "Sadie, you don't know how it works. That spot is Stewie's. I sit there, not you." Sadie would give me a confused look, and then she would sit in Stewie's spot. I tried to tell her about snuggling with JoJo. "Sadie, you don't know how it works. JoJo doesn't like to snuggle with anyone but me. I snuggle with JoJo." Sadie would tilt her head with a confused look, and then she would snuggle with JoJo. I tried to tell her about the toys. "Sadie, you don't know how it works. When the boys pretend to throw the ball for the dogs, it's for me. I go get it, not you. It's mine." Sadie went and got the ball and chewed on it right in front of me anyway. This was not working out. Sadie had to go. I decided to have a talk with JoJo. "JoJo, Sadie is mean. She takes Stewie's spot when I'm supposed to take his spot. She gets the ball first when I'm supposed to get the ball. She snuggles with you when I know you only want to snuggle with me. Sadie needs to go. She is making us all very uncomfortable." Just then, we heard Sadie in the other room talking to Stewie. "Stewie, Sticky is mean to me. He tells me I don't know what I'm doing. He tells me not to sit in your spot When I know you only want me to sit in your spot, he won't let me get the ball. When I know the boys are only throwing it for me. And he doesn't want me to snuggle with JoJo, when I just know JoJo only wants to snuggle with me. I think Sticky needs to go. He is making us all very uncomfortable. JoJo sat up, and his most serious voice he barked, "Family meeting," which of course meant we all had to meet under the table. Uh-oh, this only happened when JoJo had something very important to say. We all sat on the floor and listened very hard as JoJo began to speak. "Sadie, do you know where Sticky came from?" Sadie said, "No, I don't, but I know he's mean." JoJo looked at me and then back at Sadie. "Sticky was found stuck to the road on a cold morning when he was just a baby. Dad helped him get off the road and brought him to live with us. He didn't have toys or a nice spot to sit or a friend to cuddle with. That's why he wants to always sit in Stewie's spot, cuddle with me and play with the ball. He never had those things, and that's why we let him, while he's learning to share." Sadie looked sad. She didn't know that about me. "Sticky, do you know where Sadie came from?" JoJo asked. "No, I do not, but I know she is mean. She takes my toys, my spot, and my cuddle place." JoJo looked at Sadie and then back at me. "Sadie lost her family like you did. She spent a long time waiting for a family to be part of again. She didn't have a lot of toys or a comfy spot to sit or a soft place to cuddle. That's why she wants to sit in Stewie's spot and take the toys and cuddle with me. She never had those things, and that's why we will let her while she's learning to share." I felt really bad. I didn't know that about Sadie. I looked at Sadie and saw a tear rolling down her cheek. "I'm sorry you were waiting for a family, Sadie. That must have been a tough time. You can sit in Stewie's spot. I don't mind." Sadie looked at me, and through her teary eyes she said, "I'm sorry you were stuck to the road, Sticky. That must have been a tough time for you too. I'll let you cuddle with JoJo. I don't mind." JoJo and Stewie smiled at us both. Stewie said, "That's why we have to be nice to everyone. We may not know what they've been through. Sometimes we just don't know all of the things that we don't know." Sadie and I gave each other a big hug. "I'm sorry, Sadie." "I'm sorry too, Sticky. You want to go play with the ball? Maybe we can take turns." "I'd like that, Sadie. And then later you can sit in Stewie's spot all night." Stewie shook his head and smiled. I learned a big lesson that day. Sometimes we don't know why someone acts the way they do, but we should always try to be kind because we don't always know what that person has been through. Sometimes we just don't know everything we don't know. Sadie and I are best friends now. We know we will always be there for each other, and we will always be patient with each other. And I try to be nice to everyone because we just don't always know all of the things we don't know. Oh, what a lovely story of friendship that was. Sticky and Sadie were most certainly very unsure of each other at first, but that was because they didn't know anything about each other. I'm so glad that JoJo was able to show them that being kind, taking turns and sharing is the best thing to do. And that meant that Sticky and Sadie then had a lovely friendship once they'd learnt that. I wonder, can you think of your friends and remember, how did you first meet? And what sort of things do you do where you share things together? I hope you've enjoyed today's Shed Time story. And if you want to, you can like, share, follow and subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you will be ready for the next book for us to share together. Bye-bye.